And thank you for joining us on another edition of Sponsor Spotlight here with the Florida Tropics. And there is no bigger sponsor and bigger name. If you know nothing else about the Tropics, you probably know that Bond Clinic has been a huge sponsor of the team, literally their primary sponsor since almost day one, not quite day one, but almost. And we're at Bond Clinic here, their main campus in Winter Haven, not their new building on First Street. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but their main campus here on Central. And we are with Ashley Scanlan, who is the Bond Clinic's marketing director, which in itself is a very big job given the expansion of the clinic over the last 71 years. So I know you haven't been here quite that long, but people don't realize the Bond Clinic has been here 7 decades plus now, and that's an amazing run.
It really is something we're very proud of. I don't think that you get to be here that long without having a tremendous support from the community. Just the number of patients that have chosen us for their health care and the Community Supporter of the Year. We're very, very proud of that history.
Yeah, it's a remarkable history, really, in the industry. Dr. Panos Iakovitis is the CEO of the Tropics, the primary owner, if you will, and he is also the president and CEO of Bond Clinic. So that is the connection. But it wasn't that way from the start. Panos was just a soccer fan and got involved a little bit with the Tropics in their first season, and it really blossomed into this relationship now that all things Tropics and Bond Clinic kind of are all intertwined. And so tell us a little bit about how Bond Clinic did become involved, and from your perspective as the marketing director, at how it helps expose the clinic to the public.
Sure. I can tell you, a little over 3 years ago, when we got an email from one of the owners with the team reaching out to us to be the medical provider. And that was a very exciting opportunity for us. We've been taking care of the sports medicine needs of this community for a very long time, on the high school level, even with Winter Haven Youth Soccer, and then with a lot of the colleges. And so to have this opportunity to take it to a professional level, was a wonderful thing for our sports medicine team. Dr. Morin, Dr. Lerner, physical therapy department, our athletic trainers. And so when we got that phone call, there was a lot of discussion, as you can imagine, because that's a great undertaking, and wanted to make sure that we had all the pieces in place to be able to cover the team's needs. And since then, it just seems like it's been a whirlwind, if you will, because there's been so many opportunities. We've had a lot of opportunities even with the team this year with injury, with surgeries, and our physical therapy department almost on a daily basis. If you walk in there, you're going to see a member of the Tropics team there. So it really has opened up some amazing relationships with us, with other community partners, and has really expanded our reach into this community. And we're excited about what else is going to come because of that.
Yeah, it's good news for you guys at Bond Clinic. Bad news for us guys on the soccer side to have all the guys coming through the clinic for their not only bumps and bruises, but a lot of major injuries this year, as fans of the Tropics know. Now, the Tropics obviously a big part of what you're involved in the community, but we could probably spend 30 minutes on all the things that Bond Clinic has been involved in through the years. Tell us, though, some of the major initiatives that you're involved with in the community that you're most proud of.
It's really humbling when you ask that question. I begin to, in my mind, go through a list of all of the things. Last year, we were given the award for Winter Haven as the Large Business of the Year, and one of the things we were tasked with was to put together an application of all the things we had done. So whether it's involvement with the American Heart Association, Boys and Girls Club, there's just so many, the different youth sports, the different health fairs that we're doing, supporting the hospital. There's just, the list could go on, and it's only going to continue to grow. With a new year starting, we're always looking at, okay, what's our focus this year, and how can we support as well as others support us. So it's a great thing.
And Bond Clinic has clearly put its money where its mouth is, so to speak, in Winter Haven with the opening of your new facility on First Street. I remember right at the dedication ceremony, one of the business leaders in Winter Haven called it the most significant investment in downtown Winter Haven in decades, which is really the case. Tell us what led to that and what you're accomplishing over there now, just a year in.
Well, I'll tell you, Dr. Iakovitis and our board are always looking for for what's next. Where else do we need to go? What are the needs of this community? What specialists need to come here? And so the planning for the First Street campus was probably several years in the making, and a partnership with 610 and obviously other things as well. But there was a significant amount of thought into every decision with that building, from what services need to be here, what doctors need to be here, even the exterior of the building, and making that comfortable and enjoyable for our patients. So much, and it was a team effort to make that happen. You can imagine, all knew everything, every computer, every phone, every piece of equipment in that building, and we're so proud of it. We actually just ran some numbers, and that urgent care in the last year has seen over 15,000 patients, and that's just one department in that building. The Cancer and Research Center there is doing incredible things. In our mind, the best pediatrics department in the area, and so many of those specialists and doctors that are just every day giving their best.
I can vouch for being one of the 15,000 that have tried the urgent care. I try and get out to the Tropics sponsors. It wasn't planned that I would get to Bond Clinic, although my primary doctor here is Bond clinician as well, so it's worked out very good. Lastly, I know we wanted to, just to bring it full circle back to soccer and the Tropics, Dr. Iacovides has really had a passion for the sport a long time and has been involved in soccer for a long time, well before the Tropics. You were telling me it was really his daughter's involvement in the sport that kind of stoked his passion. Relate that story and tell us a little bit about how Bond has been involved in the soccer community even well before the Tropics.
It's really neat to have a CEO that is so transparent, and he actually had done an interview with the area publication, so I got to hear the story, so I'm excited to share. As a child he played soccer, but it wasn't necessarily a passion for him. He actually, one of his children, his daughter, had decided she wanted to play soccer, and so he decided that he was going to be the best soccer dad around, and he was going to learn everything about it, and that really just put a foundation of a passion for the sport, and he's gone on to be very involved in some ownership and some amateur teams and such, and now with the Tropics. And there's so much that's happened with the Tropics even since he's come on, the different leagues and the youth coming on board. I forget how many numbers of people in the Polk County community have been impacted by the Tropics Football Club. I myself being one of them, I feel like I've learned more about soccer in the last few years than I could ever know, and I'm still learning, so yeah.
Well, not to put any pressure on Ashley or myself, but Dr. Iacovides, Panos as we affectionately call him, just checked in over your shoulder, so yeah.
He always has a hand.
He does. He always does, and that's a very good thing. He's a great person to work for, and certainly from the Tropics perspective, it's been great to have him and Bond Clinic involved. We couldn't have done anywhere near what the Tropics have been able to accomplish so far without their involvement, and we look forward to many more years ahead. Lots of exciting news, maybe a U.S. Open Cup game here, a new league, a new team, so lots of exciting things happening. Even though we're winding down the indoor season, does not mean Tropics soccer will go dormant. They, in fact, will ramp things up at Lake Myrtle Sports Park here next month with their new team in the United Premier Soccer League. And then, of course, year 3 of the Lakeland Tropics, that will be at Bryant Stadium. That will kick off, I believe, the home opener scheduled for May 11th. So we thank you guys for everything you do here at Bond Clinic. It's a wonderful investment in the community. It's a wonderful facility here in the community for now 71 years, and we look forward to many years to come. So thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Dr. Iacovides, even though he was off camera, and we appreciate your support. And we'll check in next week with another segment of Sponsor Spotlight with the Tropics.